What is going on? Let's see here. Have not streamed for a while, and I haven't exactly done it since we've been in Florida, so bear with me a second. We're gonna make sure everything's going good here. Wait for a few people to get in too while we're at it. Today we are going to be taking a look at some of the websites and seeing what they've got going on right now. Okay, you can see the live stream's up. Audio sounds good. Did a little quick check on my phone here. And I'm going to keep that up so that way I can see anything that goes on with the chat. So hopefully we get a few people in. If you guys are catching this after and it's on a replay, then just go ahead and skip all this, yada yada yada. We'll make this quick. So with that being said, let's go ahead and skip right on over to the websites. So screen's going to get a little bit funky here. We're going to go to screen record, so it's going to like completely like annihilate the screen for like 2 seconds. And boom. So you guys can see that we've got quite a few different websites up here. We're going to look at Lowe's, and we're going to look at Home Depot, Halloween costumes, Spirit Halloween, and a new one for me to be looking at is Distortions Unlimited, which honestly I'm excited. So here we've got Lowe's, here we got Home Depot, Halloween costumes, Spirit Halloween, and there's a look at Distortions. So kicking things off here, we're going to look at Lowe's. Now Lowe's doesn't really have anything right off the bat that's really going for them, but there are a few things that I've noticed on their site that have not been actually talked about, released, as far as any leaks, things like that. But it's weird because there is some stuff here, which I'm just going to throw out that this dinosaur is like really cute, but for 4 feet tall and 1-star review for $40, I don't know that I would buy that. I have not done a whole lot with inflatables last year. This year, from what I understand, might be a little bit promising with some. We've got one crazy inflatable to look at later, but that's going to be later on. Now, if you look on Lowe's, you can actually see we've got something slightly on the crazy side here. And no, I'm not talking about this 12-foot inflatable alien. I'm talking about this Haunted Hill Farm 15-foot clown animatronic. Now, it's a little early in the year to be releasing the big guys. So, like our 12-foot skeleton style characters over here. But this one does fall into that category, being there at the 15 feet tall. You guys can see it's got the tethers actually going to him, actually up to his shoulders, which is crazy. So the support on him, to be honest, should be pretty crazy because he's really not going to have the opportunity to fall over. So this is something that Lowe's has more or less snuck in, that you can order. $600 is a little steep, I think, considering it's also only at that 15-foot mark. Like I said, the tethering points are the only thing that I actually find interesting about this. But the overall look of it is kind of crappy in my opinion. If you look here, the face is very flat. It almost looks as if it's got just a mask on almost. There's not a whole lot of dimension to it. Looks cool, but quality I don't think is really there. And actually There's no reviews. I know one of these had reviews, and it wasn't exactly good. But digging in down further, when you actually scroll down, you can see that there's more of these. We've got a 15-footer here, which is a scarecrow, but it's kind of weird because it's a skull face. It's definitely weird. It's not nowhere near as good as what Lowe's had produced that was in store with the 12-footer, but and actually no, I actually just realized too. So kind of talking about it and looking at it, a lot of my numbers actually got confused for a second. 15 feet is actually that's going to be substantial in the size, because it's hard to balance back between Home Depot with their 12-foot lineups and the inflatables aiming for the 20s. So these are actually coming in at the Phantom height. So Home Depot did the Phantom, which was at 15. So these are actually bigger than the 12-footer. I don't know why for a second I thought they were smaller. Again, I think I was thinking of the inflatables, but so that would explain the price range and why the tethering is all the way up at the shoulders, because these things are going to be completely massive. The Phantom was a complete pain to put up and keep managed. Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious myself now, because yeah, here we go with the person size. I mean, so maybe it kind of makes up for the lack of the build a little bit, but it looks like we've got phrases, the eyes, and some touch activation going on. But like I said, I know one of these had a review. I think it's this one here. Yeah, so here's an image of it at night. Looks pretty cool, but as you guys can see, they had a issue where it actually buckled, and that does not look good at all. That's a very bad break. And you guys can literally see here the reviews are just terrible. So 15 feet is cool. The price steep. I know there's also a witch one as well, but I don't see that one popping up on here, so they might have actually sold them out. Oh, no, here we go. Here it is. Here's the witch. Yeah, so there's this one as well. This one's also the 15-footer. Same thing. It looks kind of flat. Doesn't really look a whole lot all that interesting. So that's kind of what's going on for Lowe's right now with availability. This guy looks pretty cool. Not sure how good he is, but he looks somewhat promising. Looks like he'd be really cool with the fog going on. Anyway, I think that's enough for Lowe's. Let's go ahead and check over on Home Depot. So right here, you guys can see Home Depot has not yet gotten their spooky season stuff completely ready yet, but you guys can see that we've got a little glimpse of that they're going to have stuff available through the year. Usually about halfway, once it's time for Halloween to get going, they do usually stock the 12-foot skeletons where you can get them a little bit early. Last year we had the luck of they actually let out the what was it? The Deadwood, Inferno Deadwood came out a little bit early. I unfortunately did not get lucky enough to get one of those last year. That's something that's on my radar for this year that I hope I get, but it did come out early and that was cool. So let's go ahead and dive into Home Depot, see if there's anything current that can get bought. And there's a few things on here, nothing crazy. This guy, we have him, and he's pretty cool. He is available, but let's see what his price is. They say lower price in cart. So let's add to cart and see the price here. $250. It's not bad. I think when I bought it, it was like about $400. So it's not a bad price. I think he's worth it. Definitely really good when it's paired with a fog machine, because it does do all that fogging like you see, and he is actually really, really good. Right down here we've got a floating skeleton ghost over a tombstone. This looks pretty cool. So I don't know if he's gonna do kind of like a motion that circles around, or if it just stays static. It says it's an animatronic, so I'd like to assume that it moves. But again, if it does move, it'll only be like a little bit of something going on, but I don't really see a whole lot of information on that. Battery operated with lights and sound. So I don't see anything in regards to it moving. So that's kind of a little bit of a letdown there. $100 though. It's probably not bad to be in a cemetery scene. It's kind of cool, but not exactly my cup of tea. See if we can get to go back here. There we go. Just go this way. Get back on in here. Let's see. Halloween. Let's go to the inflatables. Everybody likes the inflatables. Let's see what we've got going on here. And right off the bat, we actually got a good little look. The 20-foot black cat is available again. This is one that I have, and I've never had any bad experience with this guy here. Let's see. What is our pricing here? Looks like it's probably another deal. Add it to the cart. See the price. So, what is your price? $162 for the 20-foot black cat. You know, that's honestly not a that is not a bad deal at all. $162 for a 20-foot inflatable. I think that's crazy good. I mean, you really can't beat that pricing. Yes, this is all stuff for the availability right now. These are available now. So we've already got the 20-foot cat, which, like I said, this one I have, but to be honest, having a spare wouldn't be a bad idea. But for that $162 price tag for a 20-foot, that is not bad, considering right here $159 for this 6-foot Jack and Sally. We do got a cute little Thanksgiving one over here. I'll point that out. There are some people that do like the Thanksgiving ones and the turkeys once it comes around with Halloween time. Florida is good, with the exception of the bears. So these are some cute pumpkins. We've got this stack here, 7-foot, only $50. That's not bad. Right here, 3.5, some Jack Skeleton faces. Can't move a mic closer. I'm using the computer mic, but I did test it out and everything seemed like it was okay. So, and if some people can't hear me, it's not too big of a deal. This is more for the visual than anything with audio. Right here, 20 foot. We've got the Mummy back in stock. So that's one that I had. I think I still have it actually. 109 available. $229. So bears, if you look on my channel, you'll see that there was a shorts video I just put up where they are getting a little too close for my liking. A little less friendly and able to be spooked than Pennsylvania bears. But yeah, so we got 109 available, 230. Does not have a base fan. It's only a standard. It has 2 fans in it though, but they're just the regular little hockey puck size fans. But it does actually work. From having this one an experience, it is actually worth getting. It's worth the price. Again, you got one here. You got a Stitch one. That is only 6 feet and it's $134, which is honestly ridiculous. Pricing is pretty bad sometimes. Cool 9-foot archway. Bats are pretty neat. They're cool. A lot of these are things that you're not going to end up finding in the store. They're more of online. A lot of what's going to be in the store, at least for Home Depot and Lowe's right now, isn't the stuff that you're going to see on their websites. Ooh, we've got a Halloween train. Got to take a closer look at this one. $100. And it is, what's the stats on this? 8.2 feet. And we've got the typical issue with inflatable trains. I do like how they have the headstone cross though at the head of the train there. I like that. That's pretty neat instead of the bell. But one thing that is always noted on the inflatable trains is that the steam engines, which is usually what they are, I gotta be honest, I've never seen a diesel engine inflatable. They never have the coal tender on the back of them, which is very not accurate with trains. So that is one flaw that I don't know why none of these companies have taken into consideration, because right here should have a coal tender and maybe something popping out of a pile of coal or something like that. That'd be pretty interesting, but I don't know why they never actually do what they're supposed to when they create these. So that kind of sucks. Let's see here. Let's take a look and see if we have anything really going on in the animatronic section for Home Depot. I think it's a lot of just the typicals of what we've already seen. Got our pop-up clown. This guy, which we talked about earlier, who I have. The skeleton. And then just your cheap, crappy ones, which I don't know who would buy these. They look like crap. Based on just the pricing alone, you can tell they're crap. So I think as far as Home Depot, we pretty much tapped out anything good that's available so far. So there's our look at Lowe's and Home Depot. Now let's go ahead over and get into some real fun and dig into Halloween costumes. Now, let's see, where is their sections here? I don't know how to navigate this website too well. All right, here we go, decorations. All right, here's their decorations page, and there is a lot that is cool new for this year, and a few things that I'm going to bitch about. So I hope you guys are ready for some complaining, because I got a lot of complaints. And step one in this complaint is I love all things big. I love being crazy and wild when it comes to Halloween. But for God's sakes, what in the hell is this? $1,000, okay? $1,000, and we've got a 50-foot inflatable. I said it right. I didn't mess anything up. My friends have ordered this. I have not. I refuse to take part in this one. I foresee the issues. So I know it's legit. I know 2 people that own it, and it got delivered. 50-foot inflatable Ghostbusters Stay Puft Marshmallow Man decoration. What in God's name did they do? Now, right here you can see a 6-foot person. Now, I'm a little over 6 foot, so imagine that person is me. I can't even jump up and headbutt him in the nuts. That's how tall he is. His marshmallows are safe from my head. Go ahead and laugh. Sorry. I had to make some kind of funny there. But it's the simple point that you can literally walk right, like the head area, if you look, is like kneecap level. Like, this is insane. Like, the whole thing of how many monkeys does it take to screw in a light bulb? Well, how many Allens does it take to headbutt this guy in the nuts? Like, the answer is 2. It takes me standing on my own head to headbutt this guy. Like, this is nuts. Well, enough about nuts, I guess. 50 feet is just, I'm sorry, but that is just too much. There is just no reason for that. I mean, the package alone, let's see if we've got any of the specifications here. I don't think we do. I don't think it shows it. I forget how I had seen it before. It does actually have it on here, right over here. Okay, here we go. This will arrive on a pallet weighing 200 pounds. This is just nuts. A 200-pound inflatable. And it can be used indoors or outdoors. Well, I'm sorry, but you must have like the world's biggest mansion to have this thing indoors. I'm sorry, but who is putting that indoors anywhere unless it's some form of a stadium? Like, that's just not going to happen. Now, when they launched this, I guess there's only 50 of them, and they're all numbered. I don't know how many are available left, but you can see that they do still have them, because obviously this isn't something that's going to sell out yet. Now, is it something I want? I'd love to have it to say I have it and keep one in the box just to, have one and say I had it and keep it in the box. And later in life it'd be worth money because the thing is going to flop. But here is my issue with this, is that if we take a look at the camera footage from 2 years ago when the 25-footer was out. You guys can see we got the 25-footer here. This was day number 2. I don't know why this video, I never uploaded it on YouTube. I honestly don't know why I didn't, but I did just upload it before we started the live stream. But here he was going up, and his gut burst open, and that was the end of that. And I ended up getting a hold of this company, and best bet was just getting him sent back. So I had to box him up soaking wet, which was awesome. And you best believe I took him to UPS, and they got a drenched white tarp back. There he is, popped. Down for the count and done. So I'm not in the least bit wanting to get this thing and put it up, because even that 25 footer, just knowing what I had to go through to even get that thing up was ridiculous. And for this thing to be 50 feet tall, which is going to catch every bit of wind, the higher you go in elevation, the more the wind's going to hit you. So 50 feet up, weighing 200 pounds, and that 200 pounds is before the pallet, okay? Because, and with my friends getting this, weight actually comes in a little over 200 pounds, because then they add the pallet in. A 200 pound, 50 foot inflatable. Now, you are looking at some serious damage to your property, someone's property, traffic, and let's be honest, if you're in an HOA, you're not having it. And even in a regular just community, anything, you're going to have problems, because every town has a noise ordinance, and some towns don't. Some towns don't have a noise ordinance, but it's still an ordinance that there is no noise ordinance. Noise is the biggest thing people complain about, so that's the thing that ideally you know about. But there is also height ordinances as well, and I guarantee you he breaks every height ordinance for things that you're allowed to have on your property. So that's something else that's a complete fail, is that this inflatable is really only good for like a business front or something that can properly put him up, because you really can't put that in a yard, and that sucks. But Halloween Costumes does have a whole lineup already of early pre-orders. They copied Lowe's Mummy here. I think that's a cheap shot here, because obviously it's probably literally the exact same thing. It says it's an exclusive to them. Let's be honest, it's not exclusive. It's the Lowe's Mummy. It's the same exact clothing. It's just colored a little different. It's the same hands. It's the same head. It is literally the same exact mummy. So, and it still does the same exact color changing stuff that mummy did. So, I don't want to hear it's exclusive, because the only thing exclusive is just that the clothing is more gray than the tan color it was. I guess shifting gear, a little more focus on things that would be cool for this year. We do have, finally, they've made the Nun, which is definitely neat, but I think the facial features on it are kind of bad. I mean, it looks like the eyes are kind of popping out of the head. It's definitely a latex face. But I feel like the sculpting and the craftsmanship on it is kind of crappy. It does a lunging motion. Doesn't lunge very much. Obviously, you guys can see that in the moving photo. So, little bit of a letdown, I think. I don't know if it's something that I'm going to end up grabbing. It's still pre-order $230. I'm not sure. I'm kind of hoping for a little bit better of a pull with Spirit Halloween this year. But the Nun would be cool. Even better than the Nun, though, would be having Annabelle. Now, I am going to completely complain about this one, though, because I honestly did want it. They actually upped the price. So, this is pre-order. It actually was $229, and now it's $149. That was not that price. That is one thing I can say is good about Halloween Costumes, is that they like to price gouge on their own stuff. I noticed that with the 25-foot inflatable, the Marshmallow Man. When I had gotten that, the price did keep jumping up. It started at $5, and then by the end of the season, it was almost $1,000. So when you look at Halloween Costumes, unfortunately, you need to get their stuff when you're looking at it, because as Halloween gets closer, they do up the price. I'm assuming a few people have probably pre-ordered this, and that's why the price is going up a little bit. It is a full-size scale Annabelle doll, which is cool, but as you can see here, the only thing it does is the head turns and it plays some music. But let's be honest about the face. Again, it's all about the face. It looks terrible. Same latex looking face, and it's just horrible. Everything else is fairly alright on it, I guess. I mean, it's supposed to be a wooden doll, but you know, I don't see where they try to really be that accurate with it. Accuracy is really missed on this. Um, like I said, it's just the face is just horrible. The eyes I feel are a little bit too big. I think that might be the problem. Just the way the mouth is. This doll's not creepy. It just looks goofy. Um, and I don't exactly understand why, uh, these people that make these things. I mean, they can see the movies, they can see the licensing. Obviously, they probably had to do some sort of a license to even do this. Um, but they did a horrible job at making it actually movie accurate. One that is pretty damn good though and movie accurate is they've got a Slimer, and that's actually pretty cool. Price of this is $250. His arms move, probably makes some noise and lights up. I mean, you can't really complain about this one. It actually looks pretty good. And yep, there's his butt. Um, Definitely more of a plastic. You can see where it's screwed together here. There's his boxing for everything. I mean, this looks pretty legit. Um, I think for the 250, I think this one would be honestly good. I don't know if it's one that I'm going to get. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm really kind of undecided here. I guess. Well, let's check this out. We've got a replica, but it doesn't look. Now, this is a lot more detailed, but it looks like it's all just a foam one versus where this is actually animatronic. I actually think this looks better, but 250. I don't see that being a bad price. Again, though, I'm still kind of curious to see what else comes out. We've got a couple of variations of the Michael Myers inflatable here. I believe they have the Beetlejuice one too, or that was Home Depot. I forget. And I think it was this company had the Beetlejuice, 25-foot tall Beetlejuice. But there are a few other things here that are cool. We've got this guy here, which is basically a cemetery lurker. They call it a graveyard caretaker. He's got the headstones on his back, which honestly I think is pretty cool. Can't really go wrong with this guy. He's definitely cool for a cemetery scene. But me being me, I like my headstones real, and he ain't carrying 3 real ones for me, so I think I'm going to have to give this guy the boot. But 350, I think that's fair. I would say that's about right pricing for something of that size. Then we've got an animatronic here, which actually requires an actor. So what happens with this one is it's just a head on a base like this, and it requires someone to be behind it, actually moving it and controlling it. So it's not really a animatronic. It's called an actormatronic, which is like a whole weird phrase to try to spit out. But $350 for that. I mean, the head's cool looking, but $350 for something that's literally just a head on a stick. I think that's a little outrageous. However, I'm going to throw it out there and say that this one, they are associated with Brick Thunder, so I'm sure he's probably getting some kind of a commission out on those. So I'm sure the prices are upped just because of that. This is one of those here. It's a 12-foot tall stack of clowns. Not a terrible idea. I don't think it's terrible, but the overall build of them is terrible. You can see that's just looks like latex face, kind of warped and distorted. Not really done well. All right, so you can see the eyes blink. They don't close; they just blink. And that looks to be about probably all it does. Yeah, here's how. So you basically build each clown and then they connect to each other. It's neat. It's a good idea, but overall, I don't. $400. It is what it is, I guess. I would compare that to Home Depot's pumpkin or skull stack, but not something that I'd be interested in really at all. The Phantom is cool. This guy here is actually really neat. Probably one of the ones I'm actually interested in. It's a armless and legless zombie, and the arm spins, which makes the blood that it has spin around. So it makes it look like it's actually spewing blood. That's pretty freaking cool, I think. $300. I mean, it's not bad looking. It doesn't look like it's built too bad. You can see in the photo of it moving that it's definitely shifting a lot of weight because it's only on one pole. So you got to watch a weld breaking, because I'm sure overall actual material wise this is built probably really bad. But I think that that's cool because it does it. It looks like it's spewing blood. They should have done it with the leg too. I think that was a cheap cop out that they didn't have the leg doing it as well. But you got the motion, you got the mouth, and you've got what looks like the blood going out. So I would have to say, out of all the ones that I do see so far, that one I think is the better of them. This guy here, the Salivation guy, this is another one of those Brick Thunder ones. It's more of Gene Simmons when he dies. Let's be honest here, it's a dead Gene Simmons. Someone needs to get this thing and paint it up like Kiss. That's kind of what needs to happen with that. But all it is a turning head, and the tongue vibrates. How convenient. Someone put some thought into that. Yeah. I'm not going to touch that or comment on that anymore. We're just going to leave that guy alone. But his price is $250. Continuing on, we've got this guy here, which was out last year. Was actually on my radar to get, but I never did get him. I don't think he actually made it very far in the world of being collectible, so probably still going to be passing on him this year too. Other than that, I think we've kind of touched base on this website with their stuff that they have. We've gone over the newest, coolest, and just the I don't even understand or know why they've made them items. Yeah, here we go. Here we have the 25-foot Colossal Beetlejuice, which we know that's just another thing. That's a failure. We've got try me buttons. I need those. Actually, hold up. I found some new stuff, and this is actually pretty cool. So we've got an inflatable Minecraft guy, 8 feet tall, Enderman Halloween decoration, Minecraft inflatable. Okay, this is pretty cool. We are looking at $100. That's neat. This will actually probably be a really good seller because that movie's coming out. That's going to be good. So we have him. There's got to be maybe some more. I am definitely curious on that now. But what initially caught my eye. Oh, it's not an animatronic. If this was an animatronic, I would have been all over it. 6'4" Hotel Transylvania Drac. But he's just a hanging decoration, not a animatronic. He looks like he could have been an animatronic, but he's not, and that sucks because they should have done that. That would have been cool. I think I'm gonna dig in a little bit more to see what we've got going on here, because they've definitely added some things since I last looked. Yeah, see here they have hanging Mavis. I don't see anybody else from the Hotel Transylvania, but that would have been really cool if it was an animatronic, not just a hanging prop. Looking to see if there's anything else. Got a 12-foot skeleton inflatable, so that's if you want a 12-foot skeleton, but you can't get the one that you build manually. Yeah, I think we're about tapping out here. I want to get on to the next segment, but those two items caught my eye and I had to check those out. So I'm glad I saw them. I'm going to check. I'm going to type it in. Alright, searching manually inflatable Minecraft. Okay, so we're going to have the 8-foot Enderman decoration. We've got some costumes, and coming soon we've got for $60 a 4-foot creeper inflatable. Nice. Okay, so we are definitely going to start getting some Minecraft stuff. That's going to be cool. $60. I'm sure the price is going to go up. 4 feet tall. That's not terrible. Pricing, considering it's Minecraft and that's like going to like blow up really soon. But yeah, those are probably two inflatables that are going to be worth collecting, to be honest. Anyway, getting off of Halloween costumes, let's get over to the real store, Spirit Halloween. Now, Spirit Halloween has not really done a whole lot as far as this year's releases, but there are a few things worth pointing out here that were sellouts from last year that people need to be aware are back in stock, because you need to get them now. So, number one on that list is Terrifier Art the Clown. Now, this I did get. I have it. I have not done a building or demo of it yet. It's still sitting in the box. Have to get to that. It's cool because you can have them standard, or you can have them with the glasses on, which I personally think with the glasses is better. And then you could also get fake blood, and you can just completely bloody him up, which, you know, that's up to if you want to stain his clothing or not. I'm personally not going to do that. If I had a second one, I would, because that'd be really neat. But yeah, $200 eBay and aftermarket pricing is about $500 to $600. So those scalpers don't realize that he did come back into stock last year. He sold out and you could not find him. I never managed to track him down. He's one that slipped away from me. So when I got him, I literally just got him because he popped online. So I didn't get him last year. I got him this year now. We've got the Leatherface Chainsaw Massacre here for $350. That one would be worth getting. The biggest thing, though, to point out, aside from art, is the Victor and the Emily. Now, I knew it was going to happen. These two were like the hardest ones to get last year, and you needed to have both. You couldn't just get one. You had to have both. And here we go. They popped them up, not right after Halloween, but about a month after they came into stock, and it was just like, are you freaking kidding me? So, but it was the same thing. Like they released early, and nobody really jumped on them. I didn't jump on them. And as soon as the Spirit Halloweens and all that opened up, you couldn't get them. As soon as they showed what they did in store and you actually seen them in person, you couldn't get them. So Victor and Emily are both in stock. Both from last year, worth getting because I know they're going to sell out again. Especially to the people that only got one of them, they're going to want the other one. So you might want to grab those in Art the Clown while you're at it. The only one that is new for this year so far is right here. Well, no, I don't think it's just this one. I think that one too, maybe. Right here, which I did do a video of already, we've got Lucky Liz, which goes with the Lucky Bottoms animatronic if you got it from 2 years ago. This is just the female version. Not a bad price, $169. Obviously, you can use a 20% off coupon to get it a little bit cheaper, or get the free shipping. But cool animatronic. I got mine assembled and built, and it's in the in-house display right now, so you guys will see that in a lot of the videos. But pricing for that's not bad. Let's see. Definitely it's a little bit more on the gory side. We've got this guy here, which has a hole through his stomach. He's got a rat going through his head. A rat hanging in his stomach, actually. So he's being eaten alive by rats. Definitely one of the more gory ones for Spirit Halloween. Spirit Halloween's never usually been that bad with the animatronics, but it does look like they're getting closer there. Right here we've got this zombie with the axe, which he kind of wobbles around a little bit, and you can see some nice meat in there. So again, getting on the little bit more gory side here. So it looks like he was axed, and he pulled the axe out of his arm before it completely fell off. $200 doesn't seem like it's a bad price for that one. If you want the gore in your yard. Then of course you've got things like this, which I don't know why this shows up in the animatronics, because this is just a hanging prop. There's only 6 left. This thing is $400. There's almost 800 people viewing this. This thing is like just completely freaking real. Like it is insane. So Spirit Halloween is stepping up a lot with their game with some of the stuff. I don't know if that's something that they're going to have ones like those in the stores, or if they're just going to be online only. Let's see if we can. Alright, here we've got this animatronic here. I don't know why it doesn't show up on their main page. 1,082 people are viewing this. Online only right now. Can't use any discounts on it. Almost $1,500. This is literally the most expensive animatronic I've ever seen Spirit Halloween put out. But I mean, it's freaking cool. It is really awesome. We're gonna mute that, let this play so you guys can see it. But it is a completely awesome looking animatronic. I mean, the amount of detail that's in this thing, and even the clothing doesn't look too terrible. The hair looks really good too. It is honestly, I want to say probably worth the price, but you wouldn't see me paying that for it. That is a lot of money to throw at something that, even though it has a lot of detail, it's also still not a intense amount of detail. It's basically only 2 hands, a chest, and a head, and then the rest is all just tape. So I mean, you're not, behind what you can't see, all it is just, metal poles and stuff. So pricing is, I don't know how I want to really, I don't think I can justify it, but it is pretty freaking sweet. I'd love to see it in person. honestly, but it's kind of probably more geared towards an actual indoor haunted house or something. That's just not really, I think, homeowner out in the yard friendly. Same thing with this one. Now, these are all made by a company called Beastcraft, and same thing. We'll get this one going here. This one is $1,500, so this one actually costs more than the one we just looked at. But I think the one we just looked at was a lot cooler. This is like a hovering ghost. Same thing. You have your chest, you have your face, you have your hands. But now you have even less because there's no legs or anything with it. And you just have the cloaking. I'm not a big fan of this one. I honestly can say I think that the pricing on this one probably should have been about half of what they're actually asking for it. Again, in comparison with when you look at ones like the one we just viewed, which, you know, I'll pull him up again. You know, this one's $50 cheaper, but if I had to pick one, it would be this guy. This one, I think, is just way more overall badass and terrifying, and that's just where I would be at with that. But wrapping up on those, we are going to take one final look at another site, and this is where things are going to get crazy, and I'm going to flat out say it. If you've already made it through the video this far, if you're squeamish, then you might want to turn it off, because we're getting into some very, very graphic horror Halloween decorations. Now, you guys know I love my real stuff. I like the real caskets, hearses, and the headstones. We are going to take a look at Distortions Unlimited. Now, the animatronics that are in here are all handcrafted. You're not going to find them in a store. You got to have them special ordered. But these things are nuts. Now let's see here. We will go to their animatronics here. So their pricing is probably more scary than the actual prop is. Let's just throw that out. Pricing is bad, but pricing is worth it, because again, these are all hand sculpted and painted, and you know, you're not going to just go to a store and find these things. So however many they make, I think they make them on order, aside from the one that they initially crafted. These things are, you know, awesome. Right here we've got a tipping tombstone. It's nothing gory, nothing crazy. It's cool. It's definitely not something, you know, that's like wild at all. But right here you can see a view of it rocking back and forth here. I think that's neat. I think it's definitely something really cool. However, I'd like to put that mechanism on one of my real ones. That would be freaking cool, because you can see that it is definitely a little flimsy when it rocks. You can see the little bit of the wiggle. For $368, you're definitely probably paying more for the piece of it, the base that rocks, than whatever this is made out of. Probably says it somewhere. They have a whole collection of them. You've got the cross and you've got the pillar. I think the pillar one is honestly like the cooler one. It tips off to the side, as you can see right there. So it's a tipping monument, but again, the same thing. Yeah, so it's foam filled with latex skin. So that's all latex and it's filled with foam. It's got a metal stand, so that's why it's a little bit on the flimsy, shaky side. They're cool. I like the idea of them tipping. But again, I would rather put that mechanism on one of my real ones and really get crazy with it. So here's where things can get a little bit darker. I'm just going to round up, say $600. You know, you're going to have shipping and things like that, but this is the Wretched animatronic. This is pure horror. I mean, this thing is this thing is definitely detailed, scary as all hell, and very dark. Um, really, really intense. Um, and that's like about all I can say for that. That this thing is definitely dark. Here we can see on the video down here, pretty much just vibrates. I'm sure it's probably got some screaming. It looks like it's just shaking uncontrollably. Uh, you know, you walk around a corner and you see that thing, you are gonna get the crap scared out of you. Let's let's be honest. So I would hate to be the FedEx person that drops that off to my house and the box rip opens and it falls out and scares the complete crap out of them. We've got this little blood scene here, which is insane. Looks like something freshly got covered up. This one is actually one that I like. It's the Heartless one. Again, this is coming in just under 600 bucks. Pretty much about the same thing as the other one, but this one looks like her arm got ripped off and someone snatched her heart out. And it does the same thing. It has that quivering effect. And without turning the audio on, it probably does have the same screeching and screaming and everything. I guess as you can see in the video and compared to the picture, it does say here clothing varies. So I guess each one they do the clothing a little bit different, but that is just intense. That is insane. They have a whole catalog of animatronics here that just honestly, if you ever get the chance to just sit here and take some time to really dig into these, you guys can see they've got dinosaurs, they've got monsters, they've got just so much crazy stuff. They've got giants. I mean, this sleeping giant here is almost $15,000. All right, these animatronics are no joke. The stuff that they have here is insane. It's literally just everything here is crazy, and you have to have a pretty penny to be able to order from these guys. But I can promise you, what you can get from them is just insane. We will take a look at one more here. I'll show you guys before we wrap up all this. But right here, for almost $5,000, we've got a mutant. This is real metal back here. It's definitely a lot of detail here, and we'll show you the video real quick of this guy. But this is just how intense and insane that these things get, and this is what you get for almost $5,000 and an animatronic by them. And I mean, that is pure horror right there, just seeing that. And just imagine the screaming and the yelling and everything going along with that. I mean, that is just nuts. But the problem is these are also not animatronics that you can take apart and store for the season either. These are not coming apart. You get them, they're built. That's kind of the end of it. So along with the price, you have to have somewhere to put these things. So a little bit on the heavier side. I'm going to go ahead and close that down, get this back open to right here. And hey, look, there's me again. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this whole chat with looking at what's available for Halloween. I don't really have a whole lot on my radar right now. Lowe's has a 18-foot skeleton inflatable that's made just like the 18-foot jacks. That's kind of on my radar to see that. But aside from that, there's really not a whole lot of anything that I'm at all really remotely interested in. If anything, it would have been the 50-foot Stay Puft Marshmallow, but like I said, that's just something I think would be better to keep in a box and sell for like $1 million later on in life, because you know after this year they're probably not going to make them again because it's going to fail. And you would have to hope it fails for the value to go up, because then they stop making them. There's already only 50 of them. So if you do have one and you have it boxed, just hope it flops. I'm waiting to see the fail videos, and that's going to be that. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you're sub. Make sure you get anybody else that's friends of yours and whatnot. Make them all sub, because I'm the only person that puts real headstones in their yard for Halloween. So if you want to see some crazy shit, then here you go. Thanks.